Hey everyone, it's Dinah, and welcome to 2025. It's officially 2025, so Happy New Year to you all. Starting the year off strong, hopefully, wherever you are, and we're starting off calm and the strong coming on later. However you're doing it, however you're celebrating, if you are, hoping you're all happy and safe, and hope the year treats you well. 2024 has been... Well, it's been 2024, hasn't it? It's really been 2024. So hopefully 2025 is a stronger, more fulfilling and more solid and stable of a year. But yeah, we are starting the year off on this channel with a new show, with a new show from a returning franchise. So yeah, as you can tell by the title, I'm finally jumping onto the train that is Dexter Original Sin. So yeah, needless to say, I had no idea that this show was happening, and I had no idea that they were continuing the Dexter story at all, even though this is kind of like a prequel. But yeah, this is a prequel series to the original series and everything, so we've got a younger Dexter, younger everyone pretty much. So I think them kind of showcasing Dexter in his origin. Don't know exactly how far back they will be going, because I think even with the original series, I think they did use monologues and flashbacks and combinations of the two to actually kind of establish what Dexter's past was like and what his history was like and everything growing up under Harry and with the code and all that kind of stuff. So I think with this one, maybe a bit more visual establishment. Don't know if they're going to be going so far as to retcon anything, but I think for me, even if they did, I don't know if I would actually catch on to it immediately enough or quickly enough, because I think I have not had any chance whatsoever to actually go back and watch the original series since I finished it and since I stopped reacting to it. So my memory of it is somewhat vague, but if there's any reason it's better in any aspect or with any part of the story or whatever, it's because of, I think, people, anyone like me who has spent a considerable amount of time scrolling through YouTube shorts will know that there is a channel, or there are channels plural out there, who are slowly resurrecting the Dexter fandom through edited shorts and everything, and the amount of comments I've seen that have been both the original of I can't believe Dexter is the Bay Harbor Butcher, and also that's been then kind of twisted and tormented into its own kind of variation of I can't believe X is the X, and so on and so forth. That comment has been everywhere, even in non-Dexter shorts. It just shows how powerful the fandom is, and just seeing different moments from the show, both dramatic and comedy, like funny moments, and just all sorts of different things and everything. Just seeing how much of a resurgence the show has made. The thing is, I mean, I don't know if it's actually specifically related to new Dexter stuff coming out, or if it's just people turning posting TV stuff in shorts format or anything. But either way, it's good. But I mean, officially, yeah, the show is returning. It's got a prequel series, and I actually didn't know this was happening. Dexter's not dead. He's not dead. As in, even after Harrison shot him, and we watched him bleeding out into the snow at the end of New Blood, he's still not dead. Apparently, there is a sequel to that coming out, and Dexter is still very much alive, or at least when the show starts, he'll be barely alive, but he's still very much alive. So I think Dexter Resurrection, that is the name of the new show, and I think Batista is confirmed to also be returning, but I think from New Blood, we saw he had contacted Angela anyway, so he was already on the way to Iron Lake and everything, but he is returning. I think there's rumors of it taking place back in Miami as well, so I don't know if Batista's going to come and then he's going to take Dexter back to Miami, because it was meant to be uncovered, it was meant to be unveiled to Dexter, to Batista as well, that Dexter is actually the Bay Harbor Butcher and everything. But then, there were so many thoughts running through his mind, and then he found out that Dexter was alive and everything, so I think he's going to be taking him back to Miami to uncover the truth about the Bay Harbor Butcher and the fact that, he got LaGuerta killed and everything too. So yeah, but apparently but with them returning to Miami, I think there's been so many other rumors of Quinn might come back, Masuka might come back, that we might get as much of the Miami crew back as possible of whoever's left and everything. But Deborah's gone, LaGuerta's gone, everyone's freaking gone, so it'll probably just be the boys, unless they add new characters in as well. So yeah, that's happening. I don't know when that's happening. I think the fact that it's happening is what I've heard. I haven't heard any actual development on the show, on the series or anything, but this, I think, is the next big thing that they've come out with. So I think they want to keep the spotlight on this for obvious reasons and everything. So yeah, Dexter Original Sin. but I do know a couple of people who are in this. I think we know Sarah Michelle Gellar is in this. Our girl, our Buffy, our Slayer, she's in this, so she's come back to the screen. And I think Patrick Dempsey might be in this too. But I think with this being a prequel, I think they have casted younger faces for those other characters too, because they're still going to be in Miami and everything. He did grow up in Miami, so we're going to have like Deborah and Harry, of course. I don't know how long we're going to have Harry, and because of what happens to Harry, I don't know how much of this show we're actually going to get. If it's going to be like a one and done thing like New Blood, or if it's going to be, you know, I can't imagine they do a second season, you know, depending on the story they want to tell. But yeah, even then, I think, given it's a prequel and like it's like the early years of Dexter, I don't know exactly how they're going to tell this story in any way that's different. If there's anything more they can add that wasn't established in Dexter already, but I guess we'll see. And I think maybe it might be a new spin. Maybe it might be like, if it's something like Young Sheldon, maybe it might be a spin on like, you know, because I think Young Sheldon primarily focuses on like the other characters in Sheldon's family as well, outside of Sheldon's perspective. So now I think with this one, we could get Dexter's upbringing from Deborah's perspective, from Harry's perspective, you know. Still, for the life of me, cannot remember if they ever actually established him having like an adoptive like mother, like what happened to Deborah's mother. Like I can't remember like what they mentioned about that. Like if she's gone, if she's dead, if she's, you know, what happened to her. But the only other woman that we know was involved in Harry's life was, of course, Dexter's mother, who was like a CI, and then they got romantically involved and shit hit the fan and everything. So yeah, outside of Resurrection, I'm also not sure if there's going to be any kind of story advancements with Harrison, if he's going to move on, if he's still going to go to New York, if we're still going to get anything else with him. What's going to happen? I think that one was still up in the air, but I think they did decide that they wanted to do more with Dexter in the present day anyway. So yeah, so we got that to look forward to on the horizon too. But yeah, for now we are going to be focusing on the early years, what came before the original series, and exactly how Dexter handled kind of, you know, adolescence and youth and all those, you know, already troublesome kind of periods of life, you know, aside from having to handle the Dark Passenger and everything too. And I know Patrick Gibson is also playing Dexter as well, so I think the only other thing I know he's in is Shadow and Bone Season 2, which I still have not seen. Michael C. Hall is still doing voiceovers and stuff for Dexter in this show, so yeah, but anyway, that's enough rambling from me. I've talked plenty, so now on to the very first episode of Dexter Original Sin. Let's see what's in store. What's happening here? Oh, yeah, this is after New Blood, yeah. Did he not shoot him in the right place, or... Because we did see him bleeding out. This completely, like... We saw a body, and he's still alive, somehow. Like, if they save him in time, I guess, maybe. Or is this going to be like he sees his life flash before his eyes kind of thing? So that's why we get this show at all.
We have a heartbeat.
Oh, they have a heartbeat.
Heart. I'll take
they
it.
have a heartbeat. Dexter lives. The Dark Defender lives. Well then, that's later. Resurrection will be coming soon. Right now, we're focusing on Original Sin. Yeah. Emerge, yeah. Yeah, Dexter emerges.
Your life flashes before your eyes.
Oh, and here we have it. This is why we get another show at all.
Oh my god!
Oh, Dexter's birth.
February 1st, 1971.
February 1st, 1971.
His name is Dexter.
His name is Dexter. I'm curious how you come up with a name like that, like Brian and then Dexter. Dexter sounds so much more like the name alone sounds so much more curious. Yeah. I think like Brian feels like a much more typical name to come across than Dexter does, yeah. Oh, we're gonna get a morning routine? Ah, even with Patrick Gibson, we're gonna get a morning routine. How different is it gonna be though? How similar is it? Oh, even the title card. Oh yeah. Oh, that looks good. Yeah. Oh, that brings me back. That brings me back. Oh, it's gonna be Harry doing it too, though. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah. That's very interesting. Oh, Deborah as well. Yeah. So we're gonna get the whole family involved. Get the whole family in. Yeah. Oh, the coffee, the bacon, the eggs, everything, yeah. And Michael C. Hall. I'm so glad that they remodeled this. I'm so glad they brought it back. And in the beginning, there was blood.
Experiencing death. You only get one first time.
Dude, what fucking planet you from?
That's enough. A Dexter focus.
So is he like... Is he already working at Miami PD, or is he like... Is he a student, or... Or is he... Is this like a... He's demonstrating for them? Oh, he's even got the hair as
Good
well.
work as always, Dexter.
Yeah.
You'll make an excellent surgeon one day.
I didn't feel anything.
That's what makes you special.
Yeah, he can handle it. He can actually handle it, like, unlike most people.
Think of something that makes you happy.
Blood. Or American Psycho. Yeah, sure. That's okay. Got mini Patrick Bateman. Ah, Patrick Dempsey. Looking like Jim Gordon.
Stop. Until forensics is done with our sweep, you are all guests of my friends.
Sarah!
Rudy up.
I heard about some party at Delta Alpha something, but I'm not going.
I'll represent. Show the world there's at least one Morgan with a life.
You're going to a college.
Dad, come on.
I'm okay with you going.
Seriously?
One condition. You take your brother.
You take Dexter with you.
You need to get out more. Spend time with people your own age.
Spend less time with dead
Yes,
bodies.
you should
Yeah.
do that, but far away from me.
My one condition.
Unbelievable.
Hey,
Fuck me.
You have to take him with you. You don't have to friggin' handcuff yourself to him.
I know we hoped slicing into bodies would be enough, but I'm still...
There was no blood though. That's the problem.
just stick with the plan.
He needs to see
4
blood.
years of med school, then a residency.
And all I wanted to do
Polaroid. He's even got the laugh. Masuka's even got the laugh. Is this where he discovers he wants to be a part of the feds? Because they can be near dead bodies, like fresh ones.
Come on, baby, come to daddy. Want to see my 9-inch nail?
Yeah, he's definitely Masuka. He's definitely Masuka. Oh, gosh, no doubt about that.
Hey, are number 7 and number 12 the same killer?
What? No. Hey, can you move? You're cock blocking my booth. Shoo.
Don't worry, you guys become besties years from now.
I'm not a proud mama, fellas. I'm one pissed off menopausal bitch. We have 3 home invasion sites in 3 counties, 8 dead, including 2 children. I will not, and I cannot wait for the next one to happen.
So you definitely got a serial killer on your hands then. And Vanilla Ice making a comeback. Is it a comeback if this is a prequel? I don't know. Oh, arresting him in the shower, you know, butt naked. Okay, wrapped him up first, yeah.
But at the tender age of 20, I was still a virgin. Ted Bundy.
Oh,
The most charming man in the world.
yeah.
And one of the most prolific serial killers ever. Adept at blending in.
I wouldn't recommend idolizing him, Dex. No, I wouldn't.
Or the Night Stalker.
The Night Stalker.
BTK. Or even the Zodiac Killer.
The Zodiac Killer.
I even wondered if I'd end up with a nickname.
Oh, trust me, your future holds great things in store.
How about you shove that nudie magazine underneath your pillow and join me in the real world where real women with real tits actually exist?
I have fun.
Choking your chicken doesn't count.
She is definitely dead. I love how easily the character actually fit in already. Like, yeah. This is what, like, the early 2000s?
Tequila, seltzer, and slam.
Is that all you got?
So what number of things could go wrong? This is, you know, a very specific type of party.
It all seems so unsanitary.
No, that's one way to put it.
I tried to stop them, but the door is locked. Deb and Andy, she was drinking like a lot, like blacked out. And
Oh no. No. Fuck. Just heel kick it open. Heel slam it open. Heel slam it. There we go.
Dude, get the fuck out of here!
Yeah, down the stairs you go, arsehole. Down the stairs you go. Yeah, there we go. Draw blood, Dex. Draw blood. Draw blood. There we go. Draw some blood. Okay. I'm not saying I don't. I'm not saying no, but I don't know if a murder charge is what you want on your hands at this age. Oh, who's that? Oh, it's Deb. Okay.
Fuck, psycho!
Take your slut sister with you.
The fuck was that, Dex?
I was just trying to protect you.
I had too much to drink. He said that I could lie down in there.
Oh, he had other
Got
plans,
there, the door
believe
was
me.
locked and his pants were off.
Yeah.
Dex got there before anything happened.
Oh, it's a good thing you brought your brother along.
WrestleMania all the time, but that in there, that was wow.
Oh, he watched WrestleMania growing up too. That's a.
Quietly.
I don't think it's gonna matter how quiet you are. Not with a cop dead.
Hey, Junior. Junior.
The door's wide open. Did he escape?
Jesus! Fuck!
No, he's drowning. How's he Does he think he's Percy Jackson or something? Oh gosh.
Help! Somebody!
Wait, that's a dead body. Wait, so that's... Okay, clearly not Dexter then. Obviously not Dexter. So who died?
My baby.
So they had a son before this then? Ah. He had a son before this, but he drowned in the pool. So was Dexter his chance at raising like another son then?
Animals aren't enough. Feelings I can't ignore them.
No, it's too soon.
You taught me the code to help me channel my urges. What's the point if I can't even use it? I threw him down the stairs. He hit me, I hit him back, but then I saw his blood. And everything became really clear.
What stopped you?
Deb, mostly, yeah. Literally held him back. Yeah. Also, you should most definitely likely look into that guy and get some kind of charge on him. Oh no. Oh, Harry. Cardiac? Is cardiac arrest? Oh, I think, is this then? I think, yeah, hearing about Dexter getting closer and closer to his urges, yeah. Because he had like another heart attack or a close call after Dexter's first kill, his first proper
For
kill.
the first time, the idea of death became excruciating.
Yeah.
How can you fucking eat at a time like this?
Stress
I can
eating?
always eat at a time like this.
Yeah, stress eating, that's very much a thing.
I didn't get to see him this morning. You guys left so early. I never got a chance to say goodbye. Tell him I love him.
But you're gonna need to stick to a strict diet. Oh, and quit fucking smoking. Excuse my French.
Yeah, very fluent French. Especially in cases like this, yeah.
Save me an aisle seat.
Wait, you actually want to come to my volleyball game?
We're supposed to support each other, right? As a family?
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna go right back to drinking and smoking and all this other self-destructive shit.
Stop. It's gonna be okay.
That's what everyone said before Mom died.
Died. Okay, that's good clarification. I take it she might have committed suicide then after what happened. Yeah.
Other times, the waves can overwhelm you.
Yeah, seeing that in hospital is gonna break anyone. Seeing that is very concerning. Especially coming from a healthcare worker. Did she do it deliberately? Or was she just happy to not have to deal with another patient? What did she cut out? Terry Cabell?
And that was when I realized that.
Oh, Victoria Sinclair. Oh. That's how she's targeting people. Is she overdosing him?
Why is my father getting worse?
Your father made a lifetime of bad choices for his health. This is the result.
Oh, so she's tired of dealing with... Yeah. You psycho. So does she take their names out of the obituary as a trophy or something?
Hello, dear. Can I help with anything?
She's got such a smile.
I'd always had a kinship with cats. Nature's own serial
Yeah. There was an episode similar to this in the original series, I think. Yeah. I think did they establish there was a nurse that was trying to kill patients, and I think Harry might have been involved. I think I'm not too sure. Ruben Minute, yeah, her trophies. That's what I said. Yeah, so she cuts their names out of the obituaries. Victoria Sinclair. But wouldn't it show up in the toxicology report though? Like that they were overdosed on medication, or would they just cover that up? Well, I think she would go to the lengths to maybe like cover that up. Yeah. Or it could just be passed off as like a human error kind of thing as well, maybe.
This dilution? Harmless. But if administered repeatedly over the course of several days...
Overdose.
It could kill someone.
Hey, how detectable would that be in, say, forensics medical
Yeah,
examination?
toxicology report.
Nearly undetectable.
Ah.
It does a great job of processing high levels of potassium nitrate.
Oh, that's why. So she's doing it enough that it kills them, but not so much that it gets caught on a report. Oh, she steps ahead. She's a nurse. She knows what she's doing. A scalpel in her hands would be like a scythe.
Don't let her.
Don't let her do it.
Harry doesn't want the shot.
Harry's in a lot of pain.
I want the pain.
He wants the pain.
Yeah, there we go. He wants it. He consents to the pain.
She also had a dark past.
Yeah, Harry consents to the pain, not to the shots.
Harry saw it too.
Yeah.
Doctor's not going to be happy.
He's not going to be happy that you're killing patients either, so we'll see which one's worse.
Stop her.
Stop her, okay, yeah. The ellipses is concerning, but it makes sense. Oh, now he's got it. Dexter is in action mode. Ah, he's got the plastic sheets. Oh,
hey, I was
is this? Oh, he's got the plastic sheets. He's got everything.
West Virginia,
Maybe you can bury you in West Virginia.
Never forget your first time.
So this is his first ever kill. So this is his first official kill. His first official kill. So is this the same one that Harry saw, or was that a different one? I think that was a different one, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, but Dex isn't here. Dexter's not here. Oh, he's too busy killing someone to save Harry's life. Oh, I think that's gonna sour Deb though. Can he make it back in time, like just like the last few minutes maybe? Nice one, Deborah Morgan. Dex, can you hurry up with this and then get to Deb's game?
I helped them. I took their pain away.
They didn't ask you to do that.
They didn't have to. These goddamn people. Drinking and smoking until their hearts give out. Slaves to their own compulsions. Just like your father.
I already lost my mother. Harry's all I've got, and you tried to take him away from me.
He is so good as Dexter, honestly.
That was
Oh.
the first time I ever felt someone else's fear.
Oh, that's a really good sync. That is such a good sync. How messy is his first time? Ooh. Does it take more than one go? Does he need to keep doing it to do it? Still not there. But hey, you won! You won, Morgan. You won, Deb. Yeah, it definitely takes more than one. Yeah, it takes him time to get to that one smooth. Is he gonna dismember her, or is he just gonna, like, dump the whole body? Ah, but he's got... Oh, that's an interesting disposal system. That's an interesting disposal system. This nature tearing her apart instead of him having to do it. Yeah, and he's keeping the crocodiles fed. This is really morbid, but it works. It works for him.
First trophies.
Ah.
I didn't know it then, but it would end up being a terrible mistake.
Really? Oh, because evidence. It's evidence, yeah.
I'll pull it for your pop. If there's
Oh, they're
anything
just
you need
here
or
visiting,
sister,
yeah.
Just let me know. I'll make it happen, okay?
Oh, thanks.
How's that goddaughter of mine handling everything?
Oh, you know.
Ah,
Deb
Godfather.
Deb. What's all this?
Last thing you should be worrying about is filling the fridge.
Ah.
Yeah, and you know, I got told him half pepperoni, you know, heart healthy.
Half is healthy, yeah.
D-Man, D-Dog. Remember me from the job fair? I was hoping we'd catch you.
You mean the guy who accused him of cock blocking? Yeah.
I brought you kids some hamburger helper. My kids live off this stuff.
Dexter, meet Tanya Martin, a.k.a.
Tanya
the boss lady
Martin.
of forensics.
I've heard a lot about you. Your professor, Dr. Rivas, told me you're the most talented student he's ever had.
Huh.
I don't know what to say.
Say yes, because you've earned yourself a job offer, D Money.
A paid internship.
Ah, an
$4
internship.
and 25 cents an hour.
Ah, that's not terrible, I suppose, especially for an intern, I guess, maybe. Oh, but she's pissed. No, she's gonna be pissed.
Hey, I was at Sophia's. Her parents took us out to celebrate after the big game. You know, the one that we won? You know, the one that you said you'd come to, but then blew off.
Deb.
I didn't think you'd really come anyway.
Oh. You're not throwing it away, are you? Deb! I mean, whether or not you agree with the choices or not, that's just a fucking waste. Terrible waste. Oh, and here you can't miss your own graduation. Yeah, that's for sure. You can't miss your own graduation. Oh, but she did show up. Yeah.
Oh, you were mad at me for missing your game.
Oh, I'm still royally pissed, but like you said, we're family.
Yeah.
I am gonna ream you out tomorrow, though. I mean, what a dick move.
Yeah. Although he was saving a life and saving your dad's life, so. Oh, so sweet. Oh, Dexter and Deborah. They've had their ups and downs, but they are a solid duo.
I can't believe how much better you look. It's almost a miracle.
No, almost, huh? This is really, yeah. So how they can make you go from feeling so many different ways in a matter of minutes is just, yeah.
What did you do with the body? She'll never be found.
Not unless someone rips open a bunch of crocodiles.
Stuck her in the back of the pickup and drove out to Interstate 75.
Alligator Alley.
Alligator Alley.
Dropped her in a batch of hungry gators.
Oh, alligators, not crocodiles. Okay, my bad.
There's literally nothing to worry about because there's literally nothing left of her.
Except for the earrings you've got in your pocket. I mean, he got the job done, he followed the code, and it satiated his desires, but...
But I was at a point in my life where change was necessary.
You're always telling me.
Oh, I even got a haircut. You got the classic hair.
Good.
Oh, this is
Following
Dexter
my father's
freaking
advice.
Morgan. This is Dexter Morgan, yeah.
Sarge, Angel.
You're late, newbie.
I am?
I'm just shitting you.
So no Dokes yet then. We haven't met LaGuerta either. We haven't met LaGuerta and we haven't met Dokes yet.
Welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. I hope you'll be happy here.
Oh, I'm sure I will be.
Take a seat. You get the little one.
The little one. Ah, you got to work your way up to the big leagues, including the big chairs. Does it at least swivel? If it's not a swivel chair, it's fucking pointless. Does it at least swivel? His home, his place, his comfort zone for the next God knows how many years. Ah, that's the end. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Okay, so that was honestly a surprisingly strong opener. That was a surprisingly strong opener, especially like for this being a prequel, because I think prequels themselves, I think sequels not so much. Sequels can be interesting, but I think prequels definitely garner like a lot more rightful kind of apprehension and everything, because especially like depending on how much you're able to establish in the original story and how much you're able to kind of set in place and everything, or whether it's in stone or whether it's malleable or something, you know. I think prequels always garner. I think it's a lot tougher, especially for like filmmakers and everything, to actually approach a prequel and everything, and to make sure that and there's a lot more pressure for them to do it right, or else the you know, like the story might get tainted, or it might get, well, I think more likely the fan base is going to get up in their hives and everything like that. But I think with this one, I think it like everything seemed to flow so well. Everything from like the writing, the character work, the just like the way everything was shot and edited, the pacing, everything, it just seemed to flow so naturally, so nicely. Like they'd actually tackled this and approached this with like a lot of kind of focus on the character and the story and where he comes from and how everything kind of leads into the originals and everything. And of course, I mean, there's so much more yet to go, so we'll see how much more they're able to do that and how much more they do that and everything. But yeah, I think just like everything about this just seemed like just so well done. I'm just so excited to get to the series, and hopefully, unlike with New Blood, I can actually react to each and every episode and keep that pace and keep that rhythm and momentum going and everything. But I'm actually just like really excited and eager to get into the rest of this show and see what they got in store. So yeah, and I do love them even teasing resurrection right in the very beginning by showing like, oh, Angela got him to the emergency room just in time. They did everything they could, and finally they found a steady heartbeat and everything. So he's stable, but he's not awake. He's not, you know, up and raring to go. But it's gonna take time. So, you know, I don't know if they're gonna have like that kind of like a cold open type of thing for each episode, wherein they show like his status in hospital, and maybe like at some point like they show different people checking in on him or something. But it would be interesting if they maybe did, because then even the way they kind of they structured like the introductions to was like again like his life flashing before his eyes. So it's like he's in his own mind palace as his body is fluctuating and his status is kind of hanging in there and everything, but his life is flashing before his eyes and he's seeing everything he's been through that led up to this point. Because I think for the ending of New Blood, that was such a whole thing, like Harrison forcing him to confront what he really is deep down, what he's become, all the things he's done, some without remorse, some with remorse and everything. So now, following on from Harrison's words, he is looking at what he's done, what he's become, his entire life up to this point, everything that's led him in, and for him, for the type of person that he is, for the actions that he's committed, everything he's done, he has no choice but to do that, and to see, you know, like where it all might have gone wrong, where he could have done things better. You know, I don't know if it needs to be established, but then they didn't actually kind of, you know, clarify like, oh, it actually didn't hit the heart, or it just missed the heart by a little bit, but it was still enough of a shot that he did go tumbling down and everything. But either way, that's the clarification for later, like, oh, he's alive and resurrection is coming. But for now, this is what is accurately kind of going on in Dexter's mind. It's not how can I come back from this, is oh my god, how did I even end up here in the first place? So yeah, so even the formatting of that, like the zoom outs and the zoom ins and the kind of whole kind of foreground of white and him zooming in and out and in different memories and everything. So then there was a very, very kind of good balance between three, because I think we're definitely kind of getting three different perspectives in this kind of in this episode alone. So hopefully that carries on through the show, of like having Harry's perspective as a father who's also mourning losses whilst also trying his best to raise two kids by himself. And then we got Deborah being like the kind of typical teenager, the normal teenager who's dealing with normal kind of teenage issues, but then also dealing with a father who is the way he is, and then also dealing with Dexter, she just doesn't know how to deal with him sometimes. Then we got Dexter, who's the same way and everything. So like balancing those three different perspectives. So far, it's working out great, and it seems easy enough to keep track of and everything like that. But they are kind of, I think, going the route of actually kind of already having pre-established stuff in the background already, so we don't have to go over that again. But also kind of showing like, you know, like putting that under more of like a microscope and actually showing, you know, okay, so what actually was it like for Dexter growing up with this? Like, what other kind of, you know, tidbits can we look at? What other kind of trials and tribulations that he went through can we actually look at and everything? So I think I did kind of try and guess that the story takes place in like early 2000s. I don't know why I got like early-ish 2000s vibes from this, but they actually did clarify or at least kind of re-established that he was born on February 1st, 1971. That's when he was born, and he said, and I think he mentioned like him being a virgin at the tender age of 20. So that would logically put the show in the early 90s, actually in 1991. So yeah, so I think we're going to see. I mean, so he's already 20, and I think Deborah is still in high school. I think potentially like a. I actually don't know how high school kind of things work, because you got like juniors, you got sophomores, you got seniors. I think seniors are the ones who graduate, obviously. I think juniors, I mean, then you got sophomores, but I don't know if that's like the halfway point, or if that's like, I think junior sounds like it would be like, oh, you just enter high school, so then yeah, that's that. And then I think sophomores maybe like the ones who are like halfway there, like not yet graduating, but you still got some time to go, but you've already been inside. And maybe she could be like a sophomore, because I think Dexter, I think he is like a he did graduate in this episode, so then he jumps into an internship instead of college. So then yeah, so Doris was the mom who died. I think Deborah did mention that mom is dead now. I think we saw the flashback of Harry being a lot younger and being glued to the TV and drinking, going through beer after beer and everything. And then he found his original son drowned dead at the bottom of a pool. So I think the door was, I mean, given how glued Harry was, like I think there's plenty of cases like that of parents just being glued to the TV, eating and or drinking, or just being glued in general and just having no situational awareness of what's around them. So then the kid probably snuck out, and then I don't know if he actually tried to go, like he was wearing all of his clothes anyway, so I don't know if he actually tried to go swimming and just failed, or if that was the plan all along. I mean, if it was, that'd be incredibly morbid. Like kids being suicidal and actually knowing how to do it is always like a really fucking morbid kind of, you know, factor in that situation. But I think he tried to save him and everything, and then it just didn't happen. So now I was in watching that scene. I was kind of curious of, like, you know, I didn't know if that was when Harry was still on the job, or if he, you know, if that was just after he found Dexter. So I think you know, I don't know like how far along that timeline it would be. Even seeing the body on the actual, like, the roller kind of confused me for a second, because then I felt like the blanket covering it entirely should have been a clue, but it was only after seeing the coroner's van, then I was like, oh, that's a dead body. Oh, so it can't be Dexter then. Oh, he hadn't, like, it was just again after that. So I don't think that they ever established him having had like kids before Harry, before Dexter or Deborah, biologically or otherwise, in the show. So I don't know if this would be like a retcon of some sort, if it would be just like a new piece of information added to the thing, which is kind of what a retcon would be anyway. But yeah, I think Doris too, I think, again, I mean, I don't for the life of me remember there being a mother or like another woman in Harry's life like involved in the original series. So I don't know if this is them finally establishing that or what's happening, but then she also died too, so I think it would probably make sense for her to be maybe so grief-stricken that she kills herself as well. And then I think after this whole situation too, Harry himself is so grief-stricken, he doesn't know what to do, so then maybe they're just not there for each other as they should be, or they're unable to be there for each other. So then Doris sees no way out, and she just wants to be with her son again or something, so then she takes that way out and everything. So then Harry's like a you know, mourning his firstborn and his wife and everything too. But then Deborah still remembers. I think Deborah was never in that scene either. So I don't know if like if she was a baby, maybe, like I mean if she was a baby, then I think that would kind of make sense. She still remembers her mother, and she still remembers her dying, or at least I think she knows enough to say her mom died and everything. So I'm not sure. I might have to go back and check that out. But yeah, but I think if anything, I think the point of that was to kind of focus on maybe him having lost out on that son. Like, I think maybe he just has no idea how that son would have turned out, and he has no idea like what, you know, if that hadn't happened, what path would he be on now? Or would he still have Dexter or anything? So maybe it's just him kind of going over like that loss and everything. And Dexter did mention the code, and he mentioned that they've been following the code, and he's been kind of internalizing the code and its structure and its reasoning and all that kind of stuff too. Like even going in the car, he was like, you know, like protecting himself, protecting innocent people, but the most important rule above all else, don't get caught. So I'm not sure if we're going to get Dr. Vogel in this show at all, if there's going to be any kind of reference to her, or if there's going to be any kind of like scene with her included in this. They've already got hunting trips going on, which I think, I wonder if that's Vogel's idea or Harry's idea. I think it might be more of Harry's idea to avoid, hunting animals isn't a crime, it's perfectly legal, and I think it's perfectly, it's got its own kind of nuances to it. So I think that may well be Harry's way of saying, if you've got to kill, do it safely and at least, as ethically as you can and everything. And I think maybe it's just his way of processing, oh, Dex needs to kill, he needs to see blood, so let's just take him to animals and let him kind of go loose on them and everything. So I think that's his idea, but then I think it is kind of finding out that, along the way, Dexter maybe even kind of keeps going on and on about it, that, he can't control these urges, the animals aren't enough, he needs more, he needs a lot more kind of stimuli, he needs a lot more to it and everything, and his urges are only getting worse and everything. So there's been so much kind of analysis on the show in that regard too, like the way that Harry raised him and everything, and I think the way that Harry raised him also in accordance with his own kind of misconceptions, but his own kind of ideals and his own belief systems and his own, especially him being a cop as well, and him being a law-abiding cop, a law-abiding citizen, and trying to raise his kids the same way, him doing things the best he can, raising there being a lot of fault with the code system in general, but also just the way that he kind of treats Dexter and the way that he communicates with him and the way he makes him believe things about himself too has been a big issue. Especially Dexter's kind of emotional belief system and his emotional kind of control system as well. He was raised to believe that he has no emotions and that he can't that he doesn't have them, primarily because then that's what serial killers and psychopaths are they have no emotions of their own, and it's what kind of usually that would be an inhibitor for anyone else trying to harm someone else, but or otherwise they would need to push through. But for people with no emotions who lack empathy, there's nothing stopping them, and then they actually thrive off of the harm and stuff that goes to people and everything like that. So with Dexter, he was raised to believe he has no emotions, but then you see in the main show that actually kind of is proven to be wrong so many times. He does have emotions of his own a lot of the time, and a lot of the time that emotion even leads him to understand and believe and acknowledge he does want, there are times he wishes he could live a normal life, but then he knows he can't. But then Harry instilled in him the fact that he can never have a normal life because of what he does, and just a lot of things went wrong with the even despite trying his best, and even despite kind of acclimating him to this kind of to this MO, Dexter himself kind of has to rediscover a lot of things about himself along the way, but then that might also kind of throw things off balance if it contradicts the code or if it contradicts what Harry taught him about himself and everything. So seeing stuff like that kind of being set in place early on in this episode too, in this episode there's so many different times where he displays strong kind of levels of emotion and strong case of emotion, him wanting to save Harry and him wanting to protect Harry, him wanting to protect his family and everything too, even him going after Deb's potential fucking rapist and everything, and actually just having no problem, jamming the door open and rolling him down the stairs and beating him to a pulp and everything. Even aside from emotion, I think it's very clearly established he has a strong case of a protective nature about him, and if you go after the ones he cares about, he will come right after you in ways that you will not be able to get back up from. So I think it's good to see them kind of setting that in place early on in this one. Even he does get stuff wrong sometimes, like when he missed Deb's game because he was killing the nurse and everything. But still, he definitely protects you and stands up for you when it matters and when it's going to impact your life the most, even if he gets some of it wrong and everything. So, and even him understanding the different context and everything for death and everything, him understanding what death can mean in different cases and I think he doesn't necessarily crave death so much as he kind of comes to I think his main thing is blood. It's the blood that he sees. Even when he was seeing the pictures at the careers fair and everything in front of Miami PD Metro, he saw the blood in the photographs and he was drawing links between them already and seeing all that blood. For him it's blood, but he knows that death is arguably the biggest kind of cause and causation of blood and everything. So, but I think for him, he knows that death can hold a lot of different meanings, and it can mean some different things to different people. You can kill a bad person and save a lot of people, but then when you lose someone that you care about, that's gonna sting, and that's really gonna take a big hit on you and your system and your kind of mental state and all that kind of stuff too. So like he has no problem killing the nurse because she's, you know, like murdering people, but then, you know, the thought of losing Harry, and like even him saying that to her, like to like, you know, I've already lost my mother and you're about to take Harry away from me too, I can't let that happen, you know, like him understanding that those, and again it's like another display of like what his emotional state actually is. Like killing someone to protect people can give him a sense of euphoria because then he's also getting what he needs out of that, but then, you know, he understands how important it is to keep the people you love safe and alive and well, and, you know, how to go to the lengths you need to protect them, and like, you know, like preserving life versus, you know, taking it out for like an arguably good cause and everything. So I think maybe the story might have been more fleshed out in this episode, or maybe they put more time into it or something, but I vaguely remember there being like a case of like of them mentioning, or like I don't know if they didn't explore it well enough in the original series, but I vaguely remember there being a case of like a nurse who was murdering people by overdosing them or giving them the wrong medication or something, and I think Dexter had to take her out. So I don't know like how or why it took place, if it was the exact same case as this, and then if it was like a case of Harry, if it was the case of Harry being in hospital in the original series too, and then he was saving him, or what was happening. I think it might have been, because again I think we had like for those types of stories, I think in the flashbacks they took Michael C. Hall and put him in the same kind of a wig that they gave Patrick Gibson here and everything to make him look younger, and I think then they actually kind of set him after. But I think in that one it might have been more of like a flashback, maybe a flashback that supported the same thing happening in the present day or something. I don't know, I'm not sure, but at least with this one they actually did like kind of actually establish it as like a proper case and like something proper and big for him to tackle and everything, you know, and something that hit so close to home too. Like the same nurse that did that to other patients was doing that now to Harry, and he had to put a stop to it and everything too. So, but also like that sense of actually introducing him to other serial killers, introducing him to other people with like a dark passenger of their own for whatever reason, you know, and actually kind of throwing him into that world of being like, you know, you're not the only one, but the question is how are you going to deal with them? Because even in the original season, like we see him coming to work with them and coming to cooperate with them and coexist with them until he realizes that they need to be put down as well, which is always that kind of like interesting kind of thing, kind of like a roller coaster ride of like, oh, there's a new dark passenger case here, but can Dexter work with them? Is he going to need to put them down? How soon will he need to put them down and everything? So yeah, but with this one I think it was, you know, right off the bat him kind of sensing that negative kind of aura about her, and even that kind of, you know, like from that first glimpse of her smiling in the mirror in such a sinister way and everything, they carried that out really well and really perfectly. So this being as early in Dexter's life as it is, because I think in the original series we at least have the benefit of him being a fully fledged adult who's already dealt with cases like this and who's already dealt with other dark passengers and all that kind of stuff too. But with this one, like, it's interesting. I think it's a very interesting thing, I think, to have him deal with someone else's dark passenger, because again she was tired of dealing with poor health people with poor health conditions, but even more so because they weren't doing anything to actually better themselves, like even like saying like, oh, like people who drank too much or smoked so much that their lungs just shriveled up, or even like your father who's got like a poor diet and alcoholism in his diet and all that kind of stuff too. So I think she was more so pissed off because she was dealing with patients who just didn't do anything to better themselves, so it was just kind of putting more stress on her thing. I mean, again, anyone with a functioning moral compass would be like, you know, like maybe this isn't the job for me because I can't deal with this, or maybe, you know, because again, I think it's the Hippocratic oath of like, you know, do no harm and everything, and there's been plenty of stories in real life of patients having to deal with really, really kind of nasty and malicious kind of healthcare workers and everything. And I think that there's been stories of nurses actually kind of administering harmful dosages or harmful medications or dealing with patients in really kind of, you know, kind of illegal ways and everything. So it's that case of like you look at it from like a normal perspective and you think, oh, well then maybe like this clearly isn't the kind of the field for you if you can't, like, because then that's a reality you're gonna have to deal with. That, you know, there's all sorts of different patients out there, some of whom you're gonna disagree with and some of whom you're gonna, you know, see on more than one occasion and everything. But then if that's how you look at them as patients, then you should not be in this field. But then for her, you know, there's no telling if she actually enjoys being in the job or if she finds it fulfilling, or maybe like again being the dark passenger, like having her own dark passenger means that she also, like, she herself needs to maybe kill, and maybe this is how she justifies it and everything. And even her justifying it, being like, you know, I'm taking their pain away because then otherwise they're going to keep putting themselves in these situations, they're going to keep going back, and it's just going to be, you know, a waste of time and resources. So then, like, for her, she justifies it as, oh, taking their pain away and just, you know, putting everyone out of their misery and everything. So for Dexter, I think it's interesting to actually kind of like put him against like someone else with a dark passenger who's much older, who's arguably been doing this for like a lot longer, and they've already got their own methods of doing it. Even her collecting trophies like through the obituaries and everything too, you know, and even her being in like an industry where she has such close kind of authorized access to patients to be able to kill them and everything. So I wonder like how much of that transferred to him, like him understanding like, oh, I need to be within like this vicinity, within the right proximity to engage my urges and to do what I need to do and to collect trophies and all that kind of stuff too, you know. Just him, you know, dealing with other people like that with their own dark passengers, like how their dark passenger is manifested, how they deal with it, and what they choose to do with it, and kind of seeing like, oh, like other dark passengers, you know, aren't as under control as mine is, all sorts of different things. So just seeing that too in such like a proper case form, like his first official case of actually going after a human too, and to see like the ripple effect this might cause across this story alone is going to be really interesting to see. So even seeing his first ever kill as well, like him kind of stumbling with the kill, like him kind of throwing the plastic sheet up and it falls down. He's like, hey, this is my first, like in his monologue, he's like, hey, this is I'm new at this, okay, so give me some time. It's not nearly as perfect as it might be in the future, but it takes time to get there. So him wrapping everything up in plastic, because then I thought, like, in the original series, when they had Dexter showing Harry his kill room, I think that's when he dismembered the bodies. I think it's going to be a while until he gets to that, but then but I think like to begin with, he didn't dismember the bodies at all. He just took the bodies whole, and I think he dumped them off in like a lake of alligators and everything. So then they dismembered them for him. So he was feeding the alligators and feeding them bad people as well. So that's cool. But yeah, I think him still using the plastic sheeting, him dressing himself up, but then he still gets blood over him as well. But then he also like in like he hasn't gotten to the one smooth kind of stab just yet, but he actually kind of goes for multiple stabs to get more blood out. And then I think it makes more sense for like in the first place, like to begin with, it's much more like an indulgence, but then he eventually learns to have self-control to make his to make the least amount of mess possible, to keep everything clean and tidy, and to even switching up from actual physical trophies to blood slides and everything, you know. And I mean, it's already been very well established that Dexter is pretty much like an anti-hero and everything. Like, he's very much like a textbook definition of an anti-hero. Even when they do parallel him having the Dark Defender life and the Dexter Morgan life, and like him kind of like handling both kind of sides like a superhero would, I think they don't typically do it under that kind of a lens. But I think with this one, it felt so like just watching the way it was kind of edited, and like the way they told that story too, like him being busy saving Harry's life from a murderous nurse while still failing to keep up his end of the bargain with Deb, and actually failing to show up at a game. Kind of, it gave off such kind of superhero-y kind of vibes, like him doing something good for one person, but then failing to show up for someone else, and actually, you know, like just like it gave off such kind of superhero vibes. And you know, but then you remember Dex is an anti-hero and everything, so I think seeing how that's going to affect him going forward too, like if he gets more opportunities in the future to kill other bad people under Harry's supervision or something, you know, if that's going to happen, like him actually authorizing him to go after certain people, to go after certain targets too, and maybe exploring how some people fall through the cracks of justice and get out of jail free, or whatever happens, then he has to go after those people too, and everything. So seeing how differently the code might be implemented now that he's actually interning at Miami and actually interning alongside Harry can keep a closer eye on him and all that kind of stuff too. It's going to be interesting to see. So like him actually having that kind of day job that helps him, and then also, you know, having the night job that satiates him and keeps him under control and all that kind of stuff too. So. And we had a close call with Harry too. We had a very close call with Harry, because I think in the original series, I think they clarified it was yet another heart attack that caused him to die off properly. Like him seeing Dexter's kill room and the result of everything that he had caused, I think in that scene, I think it's so clear that was Harry's own inner monologue telling him, you know, like, open your eyes and look at what you've done. You raised this boy, you gave him the code, you taught him how to do everything, but then he ran off with that, and then he came back with this. He dismembers human bodies, he covers the entire place in blood, and he claims he did it all for you and everything. So, but with this one, Dexter telling the story of how he came so very close to killing someone in order to protect Deb, but then all, like part of it was protecting Deb, but then part of it was also him seeing that blood after 3 or 4, you know, rounds to the face, and then him seeing all that for the first time and everything, and then him kind of like seeing the knife on the bar too and being ready to grab that before Deb yanked him off, and like Deb kind of being his anchor, being his grounding element, actually pulling him off. Like, but then that whole story kind of makes Harry realize, like, you know, how close Dexter is to actually making like a really extreme move, and actually kind of like how little self-control he has in a moment like that, and then that kind of made him have another heart attack. So I think, yeah, I mean, diet and physical health, it is one factor when it comes to heart attacks, but then also like give someone just enough stress, and that can cause an equal an equivalent kind of heart attack as well. So I think that's like but also like the fact that he's already lost so much too. Like, he's already lost his first son, he lost his wife and everything too, and he's dealing with 2 very different kids who are on polar opposite kind of, you know, places on the kind of social interaction spectrum and everything, and all that kind of stuff too. So he's got so much on his plate. So I think everyone on the outside can see that and everything, but then they don't know like Dexter's inner secret that also Harry is trying to grapple with, and how he's trying to get a hold on that, and how he's trying to raise Dex as safely and as securely as possible and everything. So yeah, I think I wonder how many more of those scares we're going to get in this. But now I wonder if that might change with Dexter now interning at Miami PD, because now, you know, Harry can keep a closer eye on him, and even his friends seem to love Dexter and Deborah too. Like they're all very closely knit, and they care deeply about Harry and his family and everything. So then he'll be under kind of, you know, equally supportive supervision with them too. But then it's also the case of like, oh, if Dexter slips up and says the wrong thing, and then someone suspects something, and that could be a problem. But then I think also it kind of contradicts like Harry's initial plan, which they established was like 4 years of medical school and then residency. So him actually moving him into the medical field too, and actually kind of, you know, hopefully, you know, satiating his needs and his desires and his urges on the side, but then giving him as normal and as productive and as contributive of a life as possible in society by making him kind of work in medicine. And he was already interning at the hospital. And yeah, I think Harry is the sergeant of the Miami PD, so he's the sergeant, and then I think we have Patrick Dempsey playing the captain. I don't know what his actual character's name is, I'm gonna have to go back and check that, but he is playing the captain. And then we have Tanya Martin. Sarah Michelle Gellar is playing Tanya Martin, I think they said. She's the head of the forensics department and everything, so that's cool. And then we have Masuka, who already fits in playing Masuka very well, Masuka's actor. And we have Batista as well, he fits in very well, and he's the dad from Love, Victor as well. So yeah, so I think the dad in Love, Victor, and he's the dad in One Day at a Time. He's also in One Day at a Time as well. So the only other 2 places I actually know he's been in. So yeah, very good to see him here being Batista and everything. And I think also like interesting seeing all these characters pre-friendship with Dexter, like seeing how that friendship might actually ignite and blossom and form and stuff, and become what it is that we see when we start off in Dexter. He's already got like a solid working relationship and friendship with all of them, and they all trust him and they all like him and everything. So seeing how it gets to that point too is going to be really cool. The other actors actually play their roles really well, and they're really good and believable as their characters. We haven't yet met Dokes or LaGuerta. We know LaGuerta is going to be in this, so I think it's just a matter of waiting for her to pop up. But I think Dokes, there's been no confirmation. So I think Dokes, I don't know if that's a case of like the earlier they introduce him, the better, or maybe just kind of seeing how much farther into Dexter's career they actually bring him up, or anything, and seeing if Dokes just doesn't like him right off the bat or something. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, even Patrick Gibson as Dexter, I am so pleasantly surprised by him. I am so surprised by him because he plays Dexter so well. He plays off of Dexter's mannerisms and his personality and his his awkwardness so well. And you know, like he reminds me so much of how Michael C. Hall played him, and I can only imagine the talks they must have had before they started making the show, and just how much they kind of glossed over this character and what he's been through, what his character is, and how much they have to set up for the future and everything. So, you know, like everything they did so far, like it actually seems really, really well done, really great and everything. So, yeah, it fits in so well. And he like actually starting off with the awkward hair that he had that was really curly and wavy, and then actually getting the haircut before he goes to Miami PD, like in the iconic hair that he has and everything, and dressing up and everything he has, just everything about him just feels so Dexter. Like I think it's proof that I need to go and see to go and watch him in Shadow and Bone season 2 to see how well he plays Nikolai. Even though I haven't actually like read about him in the book. Yeah, I need to finish Six of Crows as well. So there's so much I need to do to get to certain points. So yeah, but him and this Patrick Gibson in this, he's stellar. He's so stellar. I can't wait to see more of him. But I think for now that is pretty much it. That's a very long review for a appropriately long series premiere as well. So yeah, it might end up being like a long video. But hey, that is kind of how we do things here. So either way, I really hope you guys enjoyed that series premiere too. Let me know what your thoughts are, how you feel about this show existing as a whole, and how you if you're looking forward to this, anything in particular you're looking forward to, any kind of thing you hope that they explore or touch upon in terms of Dexter's kind of origins and his path kind of forward as the future Bay Harbor Butcher and everything. Whatever it is, if you're excited to see the rest of the reactions to this show, I know I'm excited to bring them along. So yeah, but that is pretty much it. So that was Dexter, Original Sin, Season 1, Episode 1. So thank you guys, as always, so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then feel free to leave a like and comment on what you thought of this episode and what you're looking forward to in the rest of this series and what you hope to see. For those interested, the full-length reaction will be available on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So until the next time, bye-bye for now.